course, he's enormous, number 10. And he was enormous. And I'm like, how are we gonna defend this guy? And after the game, he's friends with Jackson. After the game, he said, let me tell you why you guys won this game. He's like, because you have a beast on your team. So I start calling this kid the beast. And who do you think that is? Elias. I call Elias the beast because for his non-stop competitiveness, he is the most competitive kid, and I appreciate it, Elias. Thank you so much for doing it. All right. So this guy I gave this name to early on because I got so excited about how he was playing defense. So I called him Captain Defense. And every day I'm like, who's the captain of my defense? And before every game, if he knew who he was, who do you think it was? Aaron.
That's an Andrew. That's a wrong name.
So he's hustle on defense all season.
Okay.
I could have actually almost put Captain Offense there at the end of the year. He's throwing up some good shots out there, getting to the free throw line, so that was pretty awesome. All right. So this guy right here, near and dear to my heart, I call him Mr. Dependable. I call him Mr. Dependable because he played every position this year. When we didn't have Allen, when he was in Africa for a couple games, I forced him to play point guard, and we actually won a game with him at point guard, which was a miracle, but it was awesome. And he played really, really well. My favorite part of my son's game is when loose balls. It's all right. Loose balls. He looks like he's about to tear somebody's head off every time he gets a loose ball. And I always made him play against the other team's big man. And look, that guy number 0 today, non-factor today. And this is what they do. They throw the ball up, he stands there, rebounds. Jackson and Aaron and everybody else who played defense on him today shut him down today. I think he only scored 2 points the entire game. And he's their second leading scorer. So we crushed him.
Good job, Jackson.
All right. This guy I call Mr. Hustle because he hustles on both ends of the floor. He's one of our best defenders. He's one of our best offensive players. He always hustled, and he left it all out on the court. And it's not Aaron.
Jacob.
Who is it?
Was Jacob? I thought Andrew. I thought it was Aaron.
Hey, listen, Jacob. Early in the season, I didn't know what kind of player Jacob was. I had no idea because he couldn't come to practices on Tuesdays because he has baseball. And then in the first game, I didn't know where to put him, so I kind of put him in playing underneath the blocks. And he didn't. And all of a sudden, I'm like, where did this kid come from? He's playing defense and dribbling on. I'm like, okay, here we go. I think the happiest person on the team when Jacob did that was
Jackson.
Oh, thank God I don't have to play point. And Elias, because I had Elias playing point guard too, and he was like, oh, thank God. I don't want to play point guard. All right. So this guy, Mr. Assist. And the reason I gave this guy, he gets so excited when he makes great passes. Who is it? Probably you. I thought he made a bounce pass in and we scored. And Aiden all the way up the court. I'm yelling at him to get back in defense, but he's not paying attention because he's doing this. Yes, all the way up the court. You remember that, Aiden? He ran all the way up the court. He didn't score the basket, but he made it.
That's right.
He made it happen. And he was so excited that
That's all right.
And that's about our team, guys. Yep. We're excited for each other when we score. Our bench, you watch the other kids' benches, they sit there. On my bench, they're like us. They take all the personality. They're up, down. I'm like telling everybody to sit down unless we're really tired. Aiden and I gave Aiden's job inbound the ball because I know he's going to make smart decisions with the ball. And he was one of our best screeners, too. All right, this guy we call Mr. Automatic. Because every time he got the ball, he was pretty much automatic. All right? Who's that? All right. So Mr. Automatic. Now, I want to tell Andy. Andy is a great sport. Because I don't know if I told somebody, I made somebody run more than Andy this year. I'm like, run Andy. down there, oh my gosh, the second half of the season, he was the difference on our offense. You really were, Andy. I told you. What did I tell you before every game? You're our wild card. If you play well, you score, we do well. Didn't I say that before every game? That's right. That's what happened. All right? So Andy Melton, Mr. Automatic. Sorry, you all right? All right. All right. This guy knows his nickname because I call him this all the time, Mr. Cool. Who's Mr. Cool? Riley. Mr. Cool. And I was going to call him, I was going to call him Sweet Spot. Because remember at the beginning of the season, I'm like, Riley, this is not your sweet spot. This is your sweet spot. I kept moving him in because he was shooting balls from like the sideline at the beginning of the season. And boy, did you come on at the end of the season. Everybody did. Staying cool under pressure. I don't know if you remember, he put us in the overtime game that I lost. Remember the one I lost? Because I was dumb. But remember that? Riley, stand at the free throw line. We need 1 point to tie the score. Right in. Mr. Cool.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go. Mr. Clutch. Who's Mr. Clutch? Alan. Mr. Clutch. This is my man Alan. Remember that game that you scored the winning goal? Winning basket? Mr. Clutch right here. We need a big shot in a big spot. Alan was our man. He made some really nice outside shots, played awesome defense, hustled, did everything I asked him to do and his dad asked him to do, had a great season. And I put Alan, Mr. Clutch is presented to Alan for his clutch shooting under pressure. And then there's only one left, so there's not even a, and I had a hard time figuring out what I was going to call you, because I really didn't have a nickname for you. I had some nicknames, but I couldn't write them down because I'm not a player. I was like, oh, because I was coming up with some awesome adjectives. So I called this guy Mr. Everywhere. Because every time there was a loose ball, he seemed to be around it. Every time the ball was someplace, he seemed like he was there. And his rebounding, his defense. Today, he was like sticky fingers. Every time they tried to pass the ball on the outside, man, he was sealing that ball. He was killing them on the zone defense. And that is Aaron.
Aaron!
So parents, again, thank you so much for an awesome season. I had so much fun coaching these guys.
Hey, stop it. Does it automatically save it?
High school sports.